literally just got out of bed 2 seconds ago. So I look probably a little bit. It said it feels like 27 out here. You know what it feels like? It actually feels like a chilly fall day, not even a spring day, like a fall day. So we're out on field trip. I probably shouldn't have this. Shouldn't have probably my. Here, we'll put you that way. Let's see if I can open up the car. Nope, car's locked. Let me go get the keys. A field trip to my car. My honey's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, we're having a field trip to the car. Look, the kitty cats are running around. Good morning, Giovanna and Melanie. All right, so here we go. I just opened up the car. Good morning, Lori. Yes, so my car is a situation. Good morning, Melanie. So, ooh, it's a little chilly. I can't, oh, maybe I've been looking for this all week. So I really have not, it's kind of cold. I have my heated vest on. Is it still on or, yeah. Whew. That's my neighbor's rooster. Ooh. Yeah, it does. It's so the actual temperature is 40, but it says it feels like 27 due to the wind. So my car has not really been completely unpacked from Massachusetts. And then we went shopping last week and it's still not unpacked, only groceries. And yesterday I was in the Cotton Cuts sew room. Ooh, and was sewing all day, and my honey comes back and says, I think I found you something, but it's a drive. And so I contact the lady, and she's like, you're the first one to, she had it only up for 12 minutes. She says, you're the first one, sorry, you're the first one to call, so yes, they're yours. So I said, okay. So I got in the car, and yes, we drove to Pennsylvania yesterday. I was going to take a picture that says, welcome to Pennsylvania. Who knew that the part of Pennsylvania I went to was really only like an hour and 40 minutes from my house? And yes, so you just saw my short on Joann. Well, now I never unpack that stuff, so we're going to unpack that. Kathy Klein, good morning. Good morning, Zaza. So yes, so we got literally, I got off she gave me her number, set it up, and got right in the car. Was still in my PJs. I got dressed to get in the car. We did not wait. And as I'm getting there, she calls me and says, I have like 10 people who are interested in this machine. So what would be your new offer? So I told her, well, what were the other people matching? Because we did agree on a price, but that's okay. I had actually brought more money with me because I intended to give her more money because I knew she was not charging enough for what she was trying to sell. Good morning, the cheeky quilter and Chloe. And so and then she goes, oh, but do you have to stop at the bank? I said, no, because I actually was going to give you more money when I got there because I figured you just didn't know what you had. And it happens to be she has the same last name. So we were talking about that. We weren't even talking about the machines because both of us were Nieveses. And then we were like, are we long lost cousins? So she invited me to her house. I brought her Puerto Rican coffee and treats. And we had a good old time, met her mommy. And I explained to her what these machines cost in decent condition. And she says, yeah, but these are in decent condition. And then she showed me, and they are not. They are not in decent condition. And so we had the talk of what it was. And she's like, she was good with that. We had this discussion. And so what they are featherweights. And one of them is really, really in need of some work. And so the story is, how Prince and Josefina got married at the timeshare because I bought Prince while I was down there. And so someone said, well, are they going to have babies? And I said, well, I've always wanted a white featherweight. This is not a white featherweight. So, babies maybe, I had no idea. So I have, look, I have not one but two. So these featherweights, the thing was that when my husband saw them on, she only had them for $20. That's not how much I paid. I paid a whole lot more than $20. I really did pay quite a bit more, like a whole lot more, like times that like by 20, you know. No, that's not right, right? Yeah, it was, I paid her fair. But he said, look at the last name. Well, then when I walked into her house, the craziest, they're not white. The craziest thing is the very first picture I hit looked just like my uncle when he was younger. And it was a picture of a younger kid. Then I started looking at all her pictures. I'm like, that looks like my uncle, that looks like my dad, and that one looks like my grandfather, Luca. And then we got talking about where in Puerto Rico we're all from. She's from Isabela. So I'm like, the Plaza of Isabela. Yes, we got talking. We could not connect our families together, but come on, the pictures were like I said, I wish I had these pictures. They were clearly, we were somehow related in some way or fashion because those pictures were eerily similar. And being that she's from the same town, and then we got talking about, you know, Maya West and all the different places and this and that. So we're clearly family somehow in some way because everything matches. We just don't know how. So coincidentally, so then I told her what the fair value was, and she goes, no. So she did. She says, I know what you're telling me, but I don't feel right charging you that. For one, we're keeping the machines in the family. So these machines were in, we're going to say our family. On her family, they were her great grandmothers, and her mother, who was there, I'm just not using their name, said to me she had no interest in sewing on them, that she sews on other machines that were more modern. So these machines theoretically have not been sewn on since the great grandma, okay? And she had been keeping them, hoping that her daughter or her grandchildren would get into sewing and would use them because they were great grandmas, or what we call bisabuelas, and nobody wanted them. Nobody. So she's to the point of she is downsizing her home, and she was just getting rid of stuff. She has some really cool vintage antique stuff from her family. And it's so funny because my honeys were going through her home and everything. She goes, oh, you have that, and that was your grandmother's, and you had that. I go, yes, all of us Puerto Ricans, we must all collect the same stuff because it was so funny. I said, not only do we have the same tchotchkes, but we have photographs that are really eerily similar. So needless to say, we are going to stay in touch, and she doesn't know it yet, but in the mail, I will be mailing them a quilt. From me, I will be mailing them a quilt. So yeah, we went on and on. I will say that it was great because and the mommy, the abuela, was like, you're really gonna fix them? The one works a little, the other one is shot. And I said, yes, I'm gonna fix them. You're gonna bring my mommy's sewing machines back to, I said, I'm gonna try. And she's like, oh my goodness. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. And I said, and now I have to because they're probably my family's, I don't know who her mommy is. Well, I got to figure this out because I'm telling you, those photographs, I was talking to my bro. I was calling him home and I was like, first of all, they live not too far from your parents because his parents live down there. And I said, second of all, these people have pictures that look like our family, like legitimately like our family. So we got talking. So when I go down to visit I got my bro from another mother. We're really cousins, but we grew up in the same household, and my grandmother. So we grew up like brothers and sisters. So when I visit my uncle, I'm gonna have to now go visit these two ladies that I just met. That happened. We actually said none of us have ever been swabbed. So we were saying maybe we should get all swabbed together to find out how we're related, because it is kind of like, who would have known randomly, right? On Facebook, my honey's over there. Oh my God, let me see. I'm missing all the chat because I'm so excited about this. Good morning, Joyce. Let's see. I love my white featherweight. I never use my featherweight. Oh, I love my featherweight. Josefina, she goes with me everywhere. You need a DNA done. Yes, we were just talking about. Oh, yeah, I'm dressed. I have my heated vest on. It's cold out here. Um, yeah, so this was just really wild, right? Sherry, good morning. Good morning, Joanna. Um, it's probably just sees they don't like not being used. Yes, this is what we're thinking. Okay, ready? So this, these are the original things, and this is very Puerto Rican of us because we like our duct tape, okay, and our twine. So at some point, this must have broke, and the Grammy put this on, and this is how this is now, right? So I don't know any. So I'm not. I don't know a lot about featherweights. The lady said to me when I got there, "Look at how much this lady's offering for me for this because of the serial number." I go, "I don't know anything about serial numbers. I just know I try to find featherweights and fix them. I'm the only one that needs a Google new machine. I don't a bougie. I don't know why I said Google. It looked like LE. Duct. Yeah, exactly. So ready character. So she showed me all these people offering her crazy amount of money. Okay. I didn't bring that kind of money with me. I brought some money with me, but I didn't bring that kind of money. And I said to her, well, do you want me to match that? I'll just go to the ATM, right? She's like, no, nope. You came here, and after our discussion and after everything, pretty sure these are now staying in the family with someone who sews, which would be me if we can figure out how we're family. Okay, so that works and that works. Now, I have never seen featherweight boxes like either one of these two. They're two different featherweights. I have a featherweight, and neither one of my boxes look like that. Now, the featherweight I have has lost its badge. You all know that story. I got it from an antique store as a decoration piece, and I brought it back to life. It doesn't have a badge, but this, when you look it up, it's the Centennial model. Good morning, Deb. Has a ton of great yes, yeah, well, it's one of them is missing a lot of stuff. I don't know if the other one Grammy used as her parts machine, because she may have used it as her parts machine, but Honey wants to bring it back to life. So here we go. So this one is a taller box than my other one, and even the inside is different. So this is what's inside here. There is 5 of the original, this, a measuring tape, a old screwdriver, another one, and then a piece of paper that says Rick's work number. And then it has a work number. And it's funny because right here is, I could probably show this because this number doesn't even look, that's funny. This number does not even represent a number that could be found in the United States. It looks like an international number. But anyway, look, this is a sewing needle that's attached to it. But anyway, this is Rick's phone number. Again, it looks like maybe an international number. I don't know. And the crazy thing is, if it was her mommy's, I don't know if she had gotten this in Puerto Rico or she brought it to Puerto Rico, if this machine was ever in Puerto Rico. But I'm going to tell you something. A machine is going to Puerto Rico for my abuelita to play with because she's been wanting an old one. I have a 1946 featherweight and a beautiful 1901 hand crank as well. Yeah, I have way too many. So I don't know, but I'm telling you, I have a feeling that that this is really a family machine after seeing all her photos. I'm going to bring photos with me the next time I go. So here's the foot, and the foot is in really great shape. actually. Really good shape, because the last, my featherweight that I found at the antique shop for a showpiece, I took it to an authorized featherweight dealer to rewire and refurbish it. So here is the machine. So at one point, if you notice here, I don't know if they took black nail polish or something, but they did something here to kind of, I could tell, like right here, they painted it with some kind of enamel, whether it be, I don't know, with what, I don't know. So you know what? I didn't even check if the bobbin worked. I was so thrown that, oh yeah, look at that. I didn't even check if they had the bobbin. I was so thrown by the family pictures, and that I'm convinced we're related, being that we all named all the same towns that we live in. And come on, we're still living in Isabela. Then I had to show her pictures that I just got a house there. So here's this. Now this says Singer, Elizabethport, New Jersey. Now I will tell you something interesting. This one feels heavier than my other featherweight. It does feel much heavier. I don't know why, but it does. But look at this. My other one does not have a plate like this. My other one is a regular plate. You probably already know. However, can easily look up the serial numbers. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. We just haven't done that. I don't know really anything about that. Good morning, Catherine. I'm just tickled pink that this, look at how pretty, that this actually has been passed down through their family, and possibly their family is related to my family. So this is super cool to me, at least to me. Oh, you know what? And here's an old tape measure. But there was no feet, no something in there. That's all. It is heavier. It could be older. It's definitely heavier. All right. So that's that one. Okay. I hate to put this on the floor. Okay, I'm gonna walk this into my house. So I'm gonna walk this. All right, I'm back. So here's the next one. Now this one, the case does not close. I had to go and put the machine away. It's got shoelaces as tied. Wow. And then this. Now these latches don't work, she said. So this machine has quite a bit with it, but this machine is completely shot out. This one says that it is a 221-1, and that's it. It's got a little manual. And this manual is even different than my other featherweight manual. All right. Then it has this, the Universal Darner. Do your darning this modern way. Fits all makers of machines. So this was in there. And yes, he's so like us. Oh my goodness. That is awesome, Sherry. So there's this in there. I don't know if this darner is in there, but this is in there. Actually, I haven't seen this because we were talking and talking and talking and talking. And it was a good thing I brought, so I brought coffee from Puerto Rico and candies because my honey came home with some and she hadn't been to the island in a long time. So I had brought that with me to give to them anyway. So this says inspection, estimate, and repair report. It doesn't tell me the day. It tells me the customer. And it says Flushing. So it must be Flushing in New York. It says the age is 24 years is what this says. And then it says the model is 221. It says run continually and then check for motor. And it said must call out for approval. And then it said work required. And there was a lot of things underneath here for work required. But the estimated bill to repair this machine, get this, was $13.65 plus $8 plus another $14 for a total of $22.06. So the estimate was $24 to $26, but in the end it cost $22.06 to repair it. So it was repaired, even though it had all this stuff wrong. How cool is that? I thought this was cool. And this place was, let me see, it has the address at the bottom, right? Let's see. No, it doesn't have the address. And it doesn't have the date either. But we know it's got to be a while ago because for $22.02 or 6 cents is crazy. Then there's another receipt. And this receipt is from the Singer Sewing Machine Company. And again, it says Flushing with the same address. Oh, 1954. 1954. This one has a date of 1954. Again, a repair was done in 1954 for $22.06. Oh, must be the same thing as this. I bet you this is the same thing. So that was repaired in 1954 of October 15th. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? All right, so we got that. And then we have, it says a catalog number, just basically the specs, the model, and all that. Okay. So we have, and this I knew. She goes, I don't know what this is. I go, that's a ruffler. And then there's this thing. I actually don't know what this is. It looks like there's a blade on the top, but I'm not sure. Actually have no clue what this is. There's a little screwdriver, a thimble, more thimbles. Another, this looks like the original screwdriver. Look at that. Then there's this. It's just a piece. There's something that looks like this. Not sure. Another piece of something that's all bent up. And then there is some original bobbins. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 original bobbins. Some other kind of foot thing piece. And then there is, oh, maybe this doesn't have maybe it doesn't have a bobbin because here's the bobbin case right here. You know what? I should hold these two pieces on the side. Okay. I'm going to put those over here. Okay. Then there's another, look at this little doohickey here. I have this. I have this screwdriver, more modern, it's plastic. I have another screwdriver that looks like this. And then I have things that look like this. This thing, I think you put it on the machine to... this says, from your son Joseph to mom and dad, and it's got a military flag. Oh, I should call her. Look at that. I may have to call her today and let her know this is in there, because this may be their family. She might want to keep this. Okay, let me put that aside. And then we have this foot. That is for the seam measurement, seam guide. What's for the seam? Oh, yes, that's the seam guide. Yeah, that's what I just didn't know what to call it. And then, now look, now this is a zipper foot, but this is a very different zipper foot than I've seen on any of the other attachments. This is very different than my other Featherweight zipper foot. This one's actually skinnier, which I kind of like. And then again, here's another guide, right, for guiding. And I don't know what this is, but look at this thing. I don't know. Can you see? It has a bottom like this, and it looks like this. I don't know. Is that like for some kind of binding? For quilting. I've never seen this. Probably got to clean it up. I don't know if I could restore it. I could. I have crud cutter. So I probably, a binding tool, binding foot. Okay, well, I'm going to have to try this out. And then there's this. And then there's this thing here. I have no idea what this thing is. Never seen this. I have no clue. Rolled hem. I know, right? I don't know what it is. It's interesting. Okay. So now, pull this up. Let me put all this away. Now, this one has a foot I've never seen before. This one has a foot like this, which actually, to me, looks like this would be easier, because that little nub thing is kind of a situation. I buy a modern foot for my Josefina when I go, but this looks like this would be easy. So that's cool. I've never seen anything like this one. That's a special, there's a special rust remove, yeah, crud cutter. I have it. I have it. It's crud cutter, Joanna. I'm going to use crud cutter on those parts. That's one like a torture device. So there's this, and again, it's in really good condition. The machine, well, here the cord has got some stuff, but okay. Oh, so it has a bobbin. That must have been one of the things that was, see, that must have been a couple of the parts that were changed out in 1950s, whatever. So here is this. This obviously it needs a new one. It's yeah. It definitely needs grease. That and that motor looks like it's not doing too hot. So it's chipped. It's got like bullet holes or whatever you want to see that. That's all missing paint, and it's all along here, all these white things. And it's all along the top and bottom. But besides that, not too bad. The tension. So this thing is a situation. It's missing part of the assembly. So I may have to go to Featherweight's shop and see if I can get an assembly. I would change the cord. Yeah, I definitely would change the cord. I changed the cord on my first Featherweight. I don't want anything going on fire. So it does need a whole new tension situation going on, but it does not work. Like you plug it in, it doesn't work. Nothing goes, nothing. Yeah. So I don't know. This one may be a situation, but may not be. Again, look at this. So clearly this machine's had trouble looking at the work orders for it. That's a binding foot. Howdy, everyone. Not a problem. Oh, yum. It is very clean looking. And oh wait, oh no. That will be the belt. Oh, the belt decided to fall off. It's fine. All that tells me is that this machine was well loved. Right? It was well loved and taken care of because I got receipts for it. Yeah, I don't know how I got this in here. Here. All right, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go take this to my honey. I will be right back so I could show you my other stuff on my adventures. What good time for you and your new machine, so beautiful. The last one looks like a circle maker. Okay. And then we're going to go right to my Joann's haul. Definitely feels like a fall day, but all the leaves have popped due to the rain. I want to see the CC bill. All right, so I'm just tickled pink that I think if we do DNA and we're family, those machines are staying within the family because we've got to be family. I mean, you saw those pictures. Whew. The one looked like my dad's face. I was like, So the deal is that on their side of the family, the Nieves comes from the male part. And on my side of the family, obviously, the Nieves comes from the male part. So her mother was telling me her maiden name, which is one of my grandmother's maiden names. So we're thinking, get this, that the mom that I met, who is from Isabela and knows everybody there, she's not the Nieves. It's her husband who's no longer, with us. But she has the same hyphenated name as my grandmother. Those two ladies actually, if I'm not related from the father's side, I think I'm related by the mother's maternal side. It's kind of crazy. Isn't that crazy? Because we were talking and she knows everything about Isabela and all the ins and outs that I know. And we were talking about my grandfather being a band leader, like a Ricky Ricardo back in the day. So if I'm not related from the Nieves side, I may be related from the Echevarria, not the Gonzalez side. So that's wild too, right? It is so wild. She could be your great aunt. Yes, I know. We're like, it's so crazy. But anyway, let's get to our Joann's. So they were selling everything at Joann's. They were selling their toilet paper. And I almost bought some TP. Those big toilet papers, they had those for $2.50. And I said, that would just be funny. They were selling their paper towels. And then they were selling their garbage bags. So I got these, scored these, 50 cents and 50 cents. I thought this would be great because when I send off quilts, they're clear. And yes, in small towns, everybody used to be related. Exactly. Did not buy the toilet paper. That would have been funny. I resisted the toilet paper and paper towels, but I did pick up two of these. All right. And I got their last gallon of Best Press. I think this was, it says here that was $60. I think I paid $22. Had a villa in Puerto Rico. He was wondering if it made it through the hurricane several years ago. Is bringing in items from other companies that closed down to get rid of. Oh, well, ours is shut down now. It's closed for good now. I can't even get in the doors if I want to because that's it. It's done. So that's that. They sold all their fixtures, and Honey was like, "Oh, you can buy this, and then you can put your bolts in the house." I'm like, "Where are we gonna put all these fixtures?" I mean, I've taken over almost every room in this house, Honey. We don't need to do this. And then the one lady who I knew there, she's like, "Oh no, we sold all our fixtures." So a Joann buyer has decided to open up her own quilt store. So she bought all the fixtures, and she's opening a quilt store about 40 minutes from my house. And she said she's already gotten, she's already got appointments with Moda and this and that. So yeah, she's opening up a business. So I've got this. This is flannel. And I think, I don't have my receipt, but I think I paid maybe for this whole thing $10, if that. I mean, now it was worth it. Maybe $10, if that. He was encouraging you to buy. Yes, he was. It's because I'm outgrowing everything, and he figured if we had fixtures, maybe things would be a little less messy in some ways. So this is flannel. I just bought it because I know that we're going to be doing the adult bibs and maybe fidget quilts for that nursing home. And also, I mean, they're all saying that, what was I saying yesterday? Shelves are going to be empty, and we may have to go through that whole paper towel, toilet paper nonsense again, where everybody's buying everything up. So if there's no toilet paper, I can sew up some reusable toilet paper with this flannel. My honey's like, "Don't even be funny about that. I thought we ended all that yesterday, like last week." And I said, "Yeah, but now if we can't find it, we've got plenty of flannel to make it." Oh, it's not going to happen, It's not going to happen. It's just, I thought I'd just jest with him. I just thought we'd jest with him because he was freaking out when I was looking at those videos. The unpapered toilet paper. I try to explain to him it's not as disgusting as he thinks it is. I say people have bidets in their home. It's just like wiping yourself out of the shower. But he's like, "Nope. I want to make, well, I'm collecting them for these seniors, and it's going to be for that. Those would be going," she said, "to the Alzheimer's and dementia ward. And then the adult bibs would be going to, I guess, everyone else." So this just says Paris. That's it. Little hearts in Paris. I don't know. Maybe this thing cost me $4, $3. It was super cheap. It's flannel. And so I figured flannel's flannel. Heard your cash for now. So the thing is, they were wiped out. They hardly had anything in there. And my friend at Joann says, "Leanna, because I said, 'Do you have any flannel?' I mean, I'm looking, and there's like nothing but fixtures here." She goes, "We have flannel, but very little." And she goes, "They're very odd flannel. That's why they're still here." I said, "Well, it doesn't matter. I'm donating, and I just need something for a flannel bag." Reusable crispy. Yes, exactly. So here we go. So this is just, again, flannel. It's orange polka dot. It'll be fine. It'll work because I have nothing else. We'll be trading, Leanna will be trading featherweights for toilet papers. No, I will not be. I will just be making myself some flannel on paper, and I would be having a bidet because that's the only way to do that. The people that don't have a bidet and do that, they're just, more power to them. I mean, you all know, I told you, my kids were brought up on cloth diapers, and I did all the washing because I was too skeeved out about sending it out to service. And then they had this, and they had 2 bolts of this, but I only bought 1. It's just this kind of flannel. I figured it'd be good for guys. Not that all guys are into this, but It'd be good. And then this was the honey buy. This was the honey buy. So he's a big Jets fan. Right now, he's really PO'd right now. And he's on YouTube right now watching the drafts or watching the highlights of the drafts or whatever. I don't know. We're driving home from the Poconos and all he was talking about to me. And I just looked at him with a blank face. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I don't really care. I don't. He was upset because he says they didn't know what they were doing when they were picking the drafts. But when we were in there, yeah, he said that too. He says, I said, well, maybe, honey, maybe they didn't pick the good players because they just always want to be the losers. And he goes, we are losers all the time. We're losing. But anyway, so when we were in Joann's, they had a big bolt of, and we're at the point where you have to buy the whole bolt, okay? And they had not fleece. I don't really use fleece, but he was in love with the Jets fleece. And I was like, that's a lot of fleece, honey. Like, it was a full bolt of fleece. That would have cost me some money. Even though it would have been dirt cheap, it would have cost me some money. But next to it, they had this. And this looks like a big thing. Let's see. It's 100% cotton. I want to say it's bigger than the 42 width. I don't really know much. Anyway, it's this. It's a little stiff, but I figure when you wash it, it would be okay. Because his whole thing when he saw the fleece was, you can make me a Jets quilt with this. I'm like, honey, I don't do those tie fleece things. Sorry. But so when he wasn't looking, he was a little bummed. And he went because I was taking a little too long in the car waiting for me. And so when he drove up to pick me up, he says, oh, what are you doing with that? I said, I don't know, honey. Maybe there'll be a Jets quilt in your future. So yes, so we've got this. And there may be a Jets quilt in the future for him. Then I have this. Isn't this fabulous? I thought this was fabulous. Hi, Linda. This was fabulous. So this probably cost me $15. There was a lot on here. There's a lot on here. So I made a cover. Here, let me show you. We'll go over and move. I made a cover for this bench, like, I don't know, a couple years ago. So here we go. This swing here. I made this bench cover, and I bought this at Joann's, but it's looking a little ratty. I did bleach it. It did okay. It's like the third season. So, I thought maybe this would be better because it's a dark color. But then we got thinking there's so much of it that we were going to bring the rest of it to Puerto Rico and we can cover some things and make some fun things out there with this. This is outdoor fabric. Oh, yes, I definitely use super soft, snuggly flannel for quilt backing all the time. The other one is not. The other one is fleece. I tried to use fleece for backing and it all buckled and made weird crinkles in my quilt top, so I don't think I'll do that again. All right, so we have that. And then we have this. This here was not elastic. This is Velcro. And this ended up being 39 cents a yard. I don't know how many yards I bought. You have to buy the whole thing. So they go over, you bring it over to the table and they measure it. And I don't have my receipt with me, but I bought these two because for the bibs and other things. Also for those, and this is the sew-on kind. I don't like the sticky kind. The towels the one towel, the bunny towel that I made in retreat had it had the sticky kind, and I didn't want to put my needle through it so it'd get gummed up. Hi, Katie. How are you? Katie and I hung out yesterday, yes, at the Cotton Cut Sew Room. So I bought this because I'm getting into that, whole thing of making kitchen towels with applique and ruffles, and look at me. And then called, because this was super cheap too. This was like, I don't know, 25 cents, maybe 50 cents, if that. This is called Iron On. So it's not a sticky, it's Iron On. Iron On Velcro. They only had 2 packs, so I bought it. I figured I'd try it. And no problem, Giovanna. Have a great day. And then they had this 100 modern blocks, Tula Pink, and I know Pat Sloan is doing something with this book. And I'm looking at it. I actually didn't know Pat Sloan was doing something with this book until just recently. And I'm looking at it. I was like, oh, it's kind of cute. And it said it was 50 off. And I'm like, okay, 50 off. You know what? $28. I'll buy it for 14, right? I got up there with 70% off. They hardly had any books. They had this book and the other books they had, I had no interest in at all. And then it was literally, they had like 10 books left. And then I got this Fat Quarter Style. That's a great book. So I got those 2. Hi, Regina. Regina, you gotta look. Prince and Josefina had babies. Yes, and we're keeping them in the family. And I asked the lady, also going back to my machines that I showed earlier, I asked the lady, what was your great-grandmother's name? And the one lady, the daughter said, I never met my great-grandma. She was already long gone past. And then her mom, she's in her late 80s, okay? And there's some stuff. She couldn't remember. She couldn't remember. I don't know. She couldn't remember. She remembered a lot of stuff about Puerto Rico. And I said, well, if you remember, you make sure you call me or text me the name, because I'm going to name the machines after great-grandma. Okay, so then we have I still haven't unpacked Massachusetts when I visited my daughter, so we got a little bit of that too. Good morning, Raven. And so she had given me, she says, I know this is like, what are we into? We're into May, let's say, by this week. So she gives me a calendar, better late than never, with little chickens on it, because she thought they just were super cute. And she gave me these. I haven't tried them on yet. Brand new. Look, aren't these pretty? So we've got shoes. Do you have a Sam's Club by you? I got this at Sam's Club. Isn't that cute for $12? I don't know, $12, $15. I don't know. It's super cute. That's going to be going to my niece next week. So, yeah, so I got that. So we got this. I've got more fabric. My daughter gave me more stuff. This you don't need to see. Nobody needs to see undergarments. So my daughter goes thrifting, and she bought me mom jeans. So not only did she give me those boots, she bought me mom jeans. Yes, mom jeans with the tags on there. High rise. Oh no. Oh, these didn't come from the thrift store. She bought this from her friend's store. Oh, she's sneaky, because she probably thinks that I would give her heck if she buys me. I don't like her buying me expensive stuff. I want I want her to save her money for her medical bills and stuff. So this is from Ashley Irene. So I don't know if you know the white boots that are all blinged out. The 3 kids bought me those for Mother's Day from this boutique. So this is from Ashley's boutique. Oh, no. I'll have to try them on. So we got that. And this is this. I put this in front of me. I said, Angelica, this is not a dress on your mama. I said, this is a shirt on your mama. Because let me tell you, I cannot go out. It ends right here. We have a saying for that in Puerto Rico, but I can't say that because look at how short from like the waist to the bottom is. Yes. So I like I said, this will be a top for your mama with a pair of leggings, not a dress. Man, the whole world would see my hoo-ha if I had worn that as a dress. Nobody needs to see that. And I thought this was cute. So she found this, yes, at the thrift store. Look at that. I hope this fits. This is, do you remember the show Designing Women? And you had Delta Burke. This reminds me of a Delta Burke shirt. Come on. Does this not remind you of the Designing Women era with the little tuft and the big sleeves? I mean, this is so Designing Women. I really hope this fits. I have to wear a very high-waisted jeans to maybe pull this off so no belly is showing, right? And maybe that's what these are, because she said to me that these are super high-waisted. So maybe with these super high-waisted mom jeans and this shirt and those boots, you see my whole outfit my daughter got me? Yes. I may have to rock that on Mother's Day. All right. So we got that. This is great. My honey's probably so excited because I'm actually going to empty out the car. Oh, that was her birthday decoration. All right, so here we go. Oh, she got me 2 scrunchies. These are from her store. She has an online store called GTH Handmade. So it's called Growth Through Healing .net or something like that. Yeah, and that's where you can find my quilts for sale too. So we have those that she gave me. And then this is the thrift store find. So we went to go eat pizza, and we went into the pizza shop. Good morning, Myra. And there was no fabric out when we went into the pizza shop, but when we came out of the pizza shop in Massachusetts, there was a whole trunk of fabric, and it said 50 cents a piece. First it said $1 a piece, and I was like, oh, that's a good deal. And then, because I could use this for backings and stuff. And then when I got cashed out, the lady's like, wow, you got a lot. We're going to give these to you for 50 cents a piece. So here is this. It's a Cranston from Crantex Fabrics USA. So there's this. I just love that it's purple because you know me. This might be Purple Rain. Yes, Mike. We can use this for maybe Prince's sewing machine cover with lots of ruffles. Yes. Okay. And then I got this because my firefighting son is so cute. Good morning, Aisha. Vintage Style by Joe. Good morning. So we have that. And this is a lot of fabric for 50 cents. A lot of fabric. So what I'm going to do is, it's been sitting out here in this weather. The minute I bring it in the house, I am putting it right in a hot dryer. Super hot dryer. And look at this fabric. This fabric I thought was really cool. It's got butterflies on it. So cool. And it is called Hoffman's Jewel of the Jungle. by Hoffman's International Fabric. Does it have a year? It does not have a year, but it's beautiful. A lot of the fabric, the rest of the fabric I left behind was like knits and silks and other things that maybe one would use if you're a seamstress. Then we have this fabric right here. It looks like poker chips to me. I don't know. Let's see what the selvage is. I'm looking at this for the first time, the selvages. This says Wyndham Fabrics. This says Wyndham Fabrics, but it doesn't tell me anything else about it. No year or anything. So we have Wyndham Fabrics. And this is a piece of denim. And look, it has a price tag of a half a yard for $4.19 right here. This was at a thrift store in Massachusetts. There isn't a half a yard on here. I don't know. There's just like a little bit. It's a denim. I don't know. It's super cute. I thought maybe I wasn't gonna buy it. Honey's like, Leanne, it's $1. At that time it was $1. Now it ended up being 50 cents. Oh, here it's from 1984. It says 1984, and it's from Peter Pan Fabrics. I don't know. I could do something with it for a baby. That's all. Yes. Look at how big this piece is. 50 cents. This huge piece. And this is, there's nothing on the selvage, okay? Nothing on the selvage. I want to say this is probably an antique fabric because there's nothing on the selvage. I think this is the real deal. I really do think this is the real deal here. Wasn't even born yet. Yes, Linda, that's what I thought. I thought it would be cute, like even patches. Like, you know, you get jeans and you kind of I just thought it was super cute. So this, I think, is the real deal. And I am not joking. There's a bolt here. There is a bolt of fabric here. They just took the bolt out of it. Look at it. So there's that. And then we have this piece of fabric, and it's a little weird because look at clearly there was like a misprint going on, but it's okay because you can cut around it. See, there's like a misprint thing going on, but I think it's salvageable. I had this aspiration of making a black and white quilt, and so I have been collecting scraps of black and white. I just haven't done it yet. Hi, Teresa. So there's that. It looks like an apple. I don't know. Can you see it? Like an apple and flowers. And then my honey was insistent on me buying this. I have no clue what to do. Maybe it's going to go into his quilt. It's maybe what's going to happen. This says it's from Princess Fabrics, pattern number 367. I don't have a year, and it is basketballs. And you know what's true? I am low all the time on juvenile prints, and this would actually make good for a boy's quilt or girls. Girls play basketball too. Exactly, Myra. Tons of fabric there, even with the mistake. So we have this from Princess Fabrics. Then we have this fabric. It's called Countryside by Hoffman International. And I don't know if I have any repeats on this, but I thought this would make a darling kaleidoscope quilt if I could find repeats, if I have even enough for repeats on here. I just thought that it would make really nice. Again, I don't know. I have to figure it out. But we have that. I mean, 50 cents, even if it doesn't, it's okay. Oh, this was another honey buy. Because I'm going to tell you the ones he picked. Because I'm like, what am I going to do with that honey? And I kept pulling it out, and it kept showing up. I pulled it out, and as I'm at the register, it showed up in my pile again. This might have to go into his quilt too. All I keep thinking is I heard it through the grapevine. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of raisin commercial with that song, I Heard It Through the Grapevine. It is a raisin with a basketball, a skateboard, and a surfboard. He in particularly loved the raisin surfboard dude. So I might have to cut that up and put that in his quilt because for some reason he loved it. So this has a copyright all over, even on the fabric, and it says 1989. Oh yeah, Cal Rab. So California raisins, right? And let's see if I have, that's printed on the fabric itself. Let me see if there's a selvage. There's no selvage to this at all. No selvage to this. Someone took the selvage off. But anyway, so we have California raisins. Dancing raisins. Once upon a time, I had a ton of little raisin guy figures. Well, there you go. We got little raisin fabric. Oh, this was cute. This I thought was interesting. This has angels and flying elephants. Here it says that it's called Creation by Bill Bell, Applejack Licensing, Vermont, printed by Boiceville Hercules. Yeah, I've never heard of Hercules fabric line or Hercules fabric place, but that is what it's called. Vermont, printed by Boiceville Hercules. Here we go. This is, we're on a trip right now. The person who made this was on a trip of some sort. I wish mine would sneak fabric in my cart. Yep. Ballsy Hercules, printed in Vermont. I kid you not, that's what it says. And it's by Bill Bell Apple. Oh no, Bill Bell Applejack Licensing. What an interesting comp. Exactly. There you go. Trippy. Someone may have eaten one too many mushrooms when they designed that. All right. So then we have another. Again, there's selvage, but there's nothing on the selvage. So I think this is the real deal again. And there's quite a bit of this. I know. See, to me, I love elephants. My grandmother was a big elephant person, so I was all for it. I will admit, a little bizarre, but I'm an elephant girl. So we have this. So this is the real deal, I think, of vintage, whatever time and era this was. There's quite a bit of it. Then there was this fabric. This, again, has no words on the selvage. There's quite a bit of it. And there's sailboats. And when you look at it, it says Vineyard Sound. So on here it says Vineyard Sound. So this is clearly Cape Cod fabric, because you can see Cape Cod map right there. And I bought it in Cape Cod for 50 cents. I find Cranston vintage fabric at thrift stores all the time. Yes. So then we come to this here. This has the original tag on it as well. This one says that she bought this from Fabric Place. They had 4 stores: Framingham, Woburn, Warwick, and Cromwell. And in November of 27, the unit price was $2.98 a yard. And it says that she bought 4 yards. I don't know. I don't think there's 4 yards on here anymore. There could be. This is the old tag. And this does have something on here. And but it's very little, whatever that is. I can barely read what it says. It says GALEVA Land. Galaviland? Galaxy Land? Something like that. I don't know. That's all that's on there. So we have that. Did I say good morning to your mirror? I think I did. Okay. And then this here is, I think this is a Cranston print. Because after a while you get to, let's see. This is, this is Joan Kessler for Concord Fabrics. Crafted with pride in USA. Okay. That's this. I also thought this may make a really nice kaleidoscope quilt, but the print might be too small on it. So we have that. I bought this because I had bought this fabric in 1992. So, it's just funny. I don't have any more of it, but I've made a quilt using this fabric. But I do remember it was in the early 90s. And I had this in 2 shades. I had this in the brown shade, and this is the green shade. So the quilt that I made using this fabric was in the brown. This has like a greenish background. So I just bought this because it just reminiscence of fabric I had bought. And I want to say it was Cranston fabric, the brown one, but this one doesn't say. But I swear I sewed with this in a different color way. And then we have more, and I thought this may make a nice kaleidoscope quilt too, because look at how big these fabrics are. And this is, here we go. This is Joan Kessler for Concord Fabrics. Oh, I had that fabric. Probably still have scraps. You have a great day too. So the last thing, this is the last thing I have, happens to be a quilt top. And I told them this wasn't fabric. And they said, that's okay, it's yours, 50 cents, do you want it? I picked it up and I was like, what in the world is going on with this? And part of me wonders if this isn't, and maybe you all will know, if this isn't Cafe Vintage Fabrics. It isn't a quilt, it's a tablecloth. Because she has it all hemmed. But look at this. This to me looks like Cafe. I've never seen it, but it would look like it. Look at this. Doesn't this kind of remind you of Cafe like? And then it gets a little bizarre after that. I'm not gonna lie. And I know Mike's not on here. I think he went off. But there's something that's a little, I don't know. This to me reminds me of Kate. I mean, look. Maybe old-timey Kate? I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just not. It's just, but this is her fabric. Look at that. It's unique. I've never seen, look at that. But to me, it gives me, that looks like the best kind of seam ripping. I don't know if I'm going to seam rip it. I was thinking about it to reuse the fabric into something else and recreate a new quilt. I mean, now this is where it gets strange. This is the two-headed, is this the two-headed can girls? Oh no, here. Yeah, then we've got this. Like wildly just, look at that. So this was quite interesting, the can girls. But here's another piece. Yeah, that's some crazy fabric, I know. But then look at this piece. I love this. This is very vintage feel. I love the wind is kicking up here. My thoughts exactly. Right? Some kind looks like, then here's more. But then I get like Tula Pink vibes over here. So, like really wild. Maybe this is Tula. I have no idea. Or inspired. Look at this one. There's another colorway of these can girls. And I don't know if I showed it all to you. Oh, look at this purple. But basically, it just looked like, it looks like she took fat quarters. Yes, that's what she did. She took fat quarters and just sewed them together. And wait, there's selvage in the back. Okay, wait. She never cut off selvages. I wonder why they were going to put those together. But look, there's selvages right here. Oh, you know what this was? This was someone's curtain. Look, it's a curtain. Because it's got the crinkles of a curtain, and then there, that's someone's curtain. I bet you this was her curtain in her sewing room. Whoa. Yes, but look, she left the selvages on, so we can figure it out. Wait. Yeah, she just sewed right. So she took fat quarters and just sewed them together. That's a curtain. Take it apart and use the fabric. So this, okay, so this fabric right here, this one right here, says that it is, hold on, I want to know what the can girls are. Oh, it's that piece of selvage that doesn't give you. Okay, so this one here says it's Philip Jacobs for Rowan Westminster fabrics, or fibers. Philip Jacobs for, yes. So the can girls, the selvage is that selvage that doesn't give you anything. Okay, the house. These houses here has a selvage, and it is called, what is it called? Shanty Town by Westminster Fibers, Brandon Mabley for Rowan. All right, let's see if there's another. That one is a selvage but doesn't have the end. I want the can ladies. I want to know what those are. That, all this can ladies, the selvage does not have anything. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, here's another selvage I could read. Is this the can selvage? Okay, let's see. Nope, it's not. I think the can ladies, she had yardage of that, is my guess. Philip Jacobs and Brandon Manley work with Cafe Facet. So is this some crazy Cafe Facet old-timey collection that's probably worth a ton and I don't know it? Maybe it'll pay for the repair of my machine. Okay, so this says Splendor by Amy Butters. Simply Bold Floral. And that is this one right here. You may be looking at $1 million. I hope I am. I need it right now. Why my son watches people streaming their video games. Here we're watching Farish. Oh, love it. So yes, there's that. There was one other selvage. Where did it go? Hold on, I gotta put this down. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this one, oh, here it is. It says Free Spirit. Free Spirit. I have to take it out because it's in there. But this here is a Free Spirit right here. That one says Free Spirit. Johnny, good morning. Melanie. So yes. So this is 50 cents for a lot of fat quarters. And so that's all that was left. I don't know what happened to that other lady's fabric selection thing there. You don't hear me? $50 cents, 50 cents for this. Is that what we're missing? So that's it. So we have a haul from a thrift store, a haul from Joann's, the last haul, they're shut down. A haul from my daughter, my outfit. I got stuff from Sam's Club, and then I found long lost family through Facebook Marketplace and my Featherweights. And if you want to know more about what I just said, go to the beginning of this and rewatch, because you will not believe this story, because I still can't believe this story, that we might have found long lost family over a featherweight, and these featherweights have been in that side of the family for a long time, in which there were no sewers, and now I've come to this side of the family where there's a sewer. So go figure. Go rewatch it, because it's actually it's amazing to me, and I would absolutely love to do DNA with this lady and her side of the family, being that the pictures are just mind-blowing in her house right now. Everyone, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. I'm pretty sure there's a live on now, and I'm probably stepping on someone's toes, but sorry, I have to unpack the car, and this was the best way to do it. So take care. See you soon. Bye. Oh, tomorrow's Monday. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.